kalibutan! Welcome to today's episode of the Capital Reports, where we are streaming live sa atong Provincial Government of Bohol Facebook page and through our partner radio stations all over Bohol. This program is on behalf of the Provincial Government of Bohol, nga gipanguluhan ni Governor Ari Sementado, Vice Governor Nick Besas, kauban ang tibuok sangguniang panlalawigan, sa atong Provincial Administrator, PA Aster Caberte, with the whole team of the Management Executive Board. Sa ngalan sa Provincial Information and Media Office Kunpaymo, ubos sa pagdumala ni Attorney Filipina Asoy Piolio o ni Sir Mark Anthony Parnia, sa ngalan ni Sir Atoy Kosap, kini yung tingog sa kababayan Janet Lim Villarojo, maayong buntag. Karong buntaga mga kigsunang bulanon atong pag-iisgutan ang school safety and development. This week's episode of the Capital Reports will focus on school safety and development in the province in light of the unfortunate shooting incident that happened in one of the schools in Tacloban, Leyte, and a stabbing incident in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. The provincial government of Bohol believes that the safety of our children is a vital concern for parents, administrators, policymakers, and criminal justice personnel. Efforts to reduce crime and violence in schools have led many schools to adopt preventive strategies. At this point, ako mga kaigsunang bulanon, dili kita maglangan atong ipalaila atong mga bisita karong adlaw o tagaan nato sila higayon sa paghatag og hamubo nga opening statement. So ari kita magsugod sa atong center head of the Bohol Youth Home, the Social Welfare Officer 4 of the Office of the Provincial Social Welfare and Development. Please welcome Ma'am Donna Bell Mante. Good morning, Ma'am Donna. Welcome to the Capital Reports.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So, in behalf of the Provincial Social Welfare and Development, Bohol Youth Home, so we stand in support as the social welfare as the key to crime prevention and community safety. So, by strengthening first the families, also protecting children, and providing access, of course, to education in partnership with our DepEd, counseling, psychosocial support, and other essential services, we address the root cause because we believe that every behavior has meaning. So when communities work together to support those in need, we create a safer, healthier, and more secure environment for everyone. Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you, Ma'am Donna. Good morning. Next, we have the Legal Officer of the Department of Education, Bohol. Please welcome Attorney Jesse Fuentes. Morning,
Good
sir.
morning. Nakanatong tanan, no? I am Attorney Fuentes representing the DepEd Division of Bohol. And DepEd Division of Bohol is one among all other stakeholders in ensuring a safe and motivating learning environment to all our public schools under the jurisdiction of DepEd Bohol.
Thank you, Attorney. Next, we have a lawyer from the Public Attorney's Office, or PAO. Please welcome Attorney Marina Sumta Makinano. Good morning, Attorney.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Attorney Marina Sumta Makinano from the Public Attorney's Office, Tagbilaran City District Office. Thank you so much for inviting our office to be part of this meaningful activity today. And, I have been with the Public Attorney's Office for almost 6 years now, and 5 of those 6 years, I have been assigned as resident PAO lawyer in RTC 51 Carmen and RTC 3 here in Tagbilaran City, both of which are designated as family courts. And family courts have jurisdiction over cases involving child in conflict with the laws and all other cases where the complainants or the victims are minors, except for cases where the minors have died and the jurisdiction falls with the lower court, in which case the jurisdiction falls with the lower court. Otherwise, it falls with the RTC family court. So I hope that with my humble knowledge of the law and my experience in handling children in conflict with the law, I would be able to impart something today, and we would have a meaningful conversation and be able to hopefully answer very difficult questions that are being brought up right now in light of the recent tragedy which struck in Tacloban. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney. Next, we have the Chief of Operations from the Bohol Police Provincial Office. Please welcome Police Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Fernandez. Morning, sir.
Mayong buntag sa tanan, akong iniusang pagtimbaya sa tanang nagsunod o naminaw, naglantaw sa atong programa sa radyo o sa social media. Mayong adlaw kaninyo kanatong tanan sa ngalan sa kinadipok ang puwersa sa kapolisan sa lungsod sa Bohol, pinanguluhan sa amo ang provincial director nga si Police Colonel Patricio Cambulo Digay. Among dakong pasalamat sa atong kagamahan ng provincial, pinanguluhan sa ato ang halangdong gobernador Ari Samentado sa iyang paghatag o higayon sa kapolisan sa probinsya sa Bohol nga makapaabot sa mga programa o impormasyon kabahin sa mga kalambuan o nahitabo sa atong probinsya. Mayong butag at tanan.
Mayong buntag. Thank you, Colonel. Okay, so dili kita maglangan. Ari na ta sa atong question and answer portion with the Bohol Media. Kay murag nindot kayo ang topic nato karang adlaw, no? Timely kayo. First to ask, please welcome Sir Edwin Sarong. Mayong buntag, Sir Edwin. Once again, welcome to the Capital Reports as always. We really appreciate your attendance.
Thank you, Ma'am Janet. Good morning, everyone. Edwin Sarong gikan sa RBN 100.9 FM. Thank you. Ari ko mangutan una sa ato ang OPSWD. Na-mention man nimo, ma'am. No? Good morning, ma'am. Nga healthier and safer sa ato ang mga kabatanunan. Doon na ba may gihimo sa inyong buhatan, ma'am, nga programa para sa ato mga kabataan ngadto mismo sa mga tukaran sa mga eskwelahan? Kabahin sa imong gisgutan nga healthier and safer?
Okay, good morning, sir. So, in terms of providing safety, no, so we, sa buhatan lang namo, we are the Secretariat of the Provincial Council on the Protection of Children, of which Attorney Jess is also an active member. So, sa ato ang buhatan, and of course, sa atong Provincial Council on the Protection of Children, atong ipakadakan ang capacity building. Sa atong mga teachers, sa atong mga parents, sa atong mga, of course, sa atong mga kabataan. Not only in terms of protection, but also sila po, nga simbako sila po'y mabiktima, they can also be provided with services, no?
Thank you.
So ako lang i-share sa inyo that Provincial Social Welfare Office under the Residential Services Division has 3 shelters. That is the Stimulation Therapeutic Activity Center, of which is catering to children with disabilities nga gaedad og 2 to 14 years old.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. No? Mura man og gipangandama nato ng mga panghitabo ako doon na natay mga shelter nga inana. Ang abot mi pasabot is to prevent this incident recently nga nitabo dito sa Tacloban.
Okay. So natin mga capacity building lagi ana sir, no, sang atong mga nakana bang natin advocacy ba? Natin advocacy nga sila mga children will also be responsible.
Yes.
They also have accountability at the same time if ever naa sila yung mga salaon. Example, we have the Bohol Youth Home karon. No, ang Bohol Youth Home serves as a residential facility, rehabilitation center specific for children in conflict with the law. Kaning atong gihisgutan karon siguro ang topic, no? So naataan na siya karon.
Okay.
But this time, kaning mga bata ang atong gi-shelter are those katong nagyong mga in conflict.
Okay, what I mean, ma'am, is prevention. Parang aril ako, direction lang ko, sorry ma'am, aril ako sa Department of Education. Good morning, attorney.
Good morning, sir.
Sa tibok lalawigan sa Bohol, usang lungsura nga naghimo og educational summit.
What do you mean by educational summit, sir? Because speaking of educational summit, kami sa Division of Bohol, sa division level, monthly, we give technical assistance man sa among schools district supervisor na may gitawag og Division Executive Conference.
Okay.
Inighuman ana ang bawat PSDS or Public School District Supervisor, magkandak pod na sila sa ilang district level nga executive conference with the presence of their school heads. Then, kung ma-cascaded na sa school head, ang bawat school head na pod sa matag eskwelahan, magkandak na pod na sila og ilahang administrative meeting in order to cascade information coming from the top administration.
Okay, baguhay pa lamang, no, ang Garcia Hernandez naghimo og educational summit.
Yes,
Na-appreciate to sa uban nga mga lalawigan, sa uban nga mga kalusaran, especially sa ato ang mga kadagkuan diri sa Department of Education. ilang na-appreciate kayo to kay nahisgutan tanan kung unsay mga problema gikan sa mga kabatanunan, sa mga parent o teachers. Nahisgutan to tanan para ma-prevent ang unsay mga panghitabo soon. Parehas na hitabo, baguhay pa lamang dito sa Tacloban. Dito pa naman daan, dito na sila gahimo at unsay lahang mga assessment. Wala pa itong mga panghitabo dito sa lalawigan. Mao ni bot nang gustong mahitabo unta sa pagpangutana no, sa atong OPSWD kay ang iyang nahisgutan is kato naman nga paghumanas mga panghitabo kato ng mga kabatanunan nato bitaw nga doon na mga salao, doon natay shelter para nila ana, doon natay counseling. Ang bot namong ipaabot lang unta ninyo katong prevention nga dili anta ang mga bata nato nga mahitabo susama niini kay dili lang pod ang mga classmates nila ang biktima kung dili apil na pod ang ato ang mga teachers no kay ang mga bata nga moistorya karon sa tinud-anay lang unlimited sila mubuli sila mga classmates, mubuli sila mga teachers kay ang mga teachers usab karon dili basta-basta basag istorya lang pwede na ka makasuhan no inana ang mga panghitabo karon kay gani sa pagkakaron mutuo mo dili walay mga bata karon nga mga estudyante nga nakatilaw og buno sa mga erasure o mga chalk sa unang panahon sige kung kaigo anak pero karon mga panahon ano kining but lang ipasabot gikan sa ato ang mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga concern offices no unsay atong mahimo para sa pagpalambo pas mga bata nga matupa safer and healthier unya kining ato ang mga prevention kanang dili na ni mahitabo pag-usab pa ma'am okay, thank you.
Pwede ba matubag, sir, no? So,
Yes.
if I may, akong isgutan ganihan natin, Provincial Council on the Protection of Children. Every year, naana sila, dili not every year, but na child representatives. So every year, good, since pa natukod ang Provincial Council on the Protection of Children, we always have the Children's Summit. Sa kanang Children's Summit, diha na mahitabo nga maghisgot ang unsay mga issues nila. So apil na siya bullying mayon ana. Kaya ato mga members ana nga mo nga nangapil ana artos mga LGBT o kana bitong mga leaders sa ilang eskwelahan. So from there kana na sila mo gitagaan sila capacity building unya sila na poy mohatag og mga prevention measures dito sa ilang mga schools as leaders in every school kay nag-represent man na sila sa mga eskwelahan sa provincial level o sa city. So natin mga ingon ana sir prevention measures na siya. Aside from the one that I shared ganina nga reactive na to nga naatay mga shelters in the event nga naay mga bata nga makasala sa balaod. So mao lang po na siya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Don. What nila ipangutana, Sir Edwin? Next, yes, we have Sir Ma'am Gina Panyo.
Good morning. My question goes to Attorney Maquinano. Attorney, from a legal standpoint, what are the clear-cut liabilities of school administrators, parents, and minor themselves when violent incidents or severe bullying happens on school grounds?
Okay, ma'am. So let's discuss first RA 9344, or the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act of 2006. Whenever a minor ages 15 years and below commits a crime, they are exempted from criminal liability as per the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, but they will be subjected to an intervention program. Children ages 16 years old but above 15 years old but below 18 years old, if they acted without discernment, they are likewise exempted from criminal liability, but they will also be subjected to an intervention program. But if they acted with discernment, they will be either they will undergo diversion proceedings, but if they do not qualify for diversion proceedings, or if both parties, meaning the complainants and the accused, or the CICL, sorry, not accused, did not agree to a diversion program, then such CICL will undergo the regular judicial proceeding, meaning he or she will have to undergo preliminary investigation and be tried in court. Okay. With respect to, just a summary lang, no, so that if you have further questions, you can ask further later, ma'am, or for the other members of the media. For the school itself, the administrators and teachers, even if the minors are exempted from criminal liability because they are ages of their ages are below 15 years old, or if they did not act with discernment, that does not mean that the civil liability is likewise extinguished. Because if we look at Article 2176 of the new Civil Code in relation to Article 2180 of the same Civil Code, the school, the administrators, and the teachers are vicariously liable, and they are jointly and solidarily liable with parents for those in favor of those they have injured, or in case there are commission of offenses in which civil damages are possible. However, when if we make the school or the administrators or the teachers liable, we have to show that they did not exercise reasonable diligence in preventing the commission of crimes or in the commission of quasi-delicts. Because if they are able to prove the same, that they exercise reasonable diligence, like for example, in the case of the shooting in Tacloban, if they employed proper security, tight security measures, or if there are kanang siguro checking of bags during sa entrances sa mga school, that those are examples of exercising reasonable diligence, because that's the standard required under the law. There's no specific standard, but there's no specific measures nga gi-impose sa atong Supreme Court as per law and jurisprudence. But the standard is just really reasonable diligence. As to what reasonable diligence is under the law, or what will qualify as reasonable diligence is under the law, that a reasonable, prudent man could have done in order to avoid the commission of those offenses. Okay, so was I able to answer the question, ma'am? Parents are, under the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, the parents are primarily responsible for the nurturing and the rearing of a child. No, that's given. Even if we don't talk about the law, that's given good. Parents are subsidiarily liable, civilly subsidiarily liable for any, and they will answer for any civil damages that are, in which the minors will be possibly responsible. The school, teachers, administrators are jointly and solidarily liable with the parents. Okay? When we say subsidiarily liable under the law, we have to prove that the parents also did not exercise reasonable diligence in preventing their child from committing such, let's say, serious offenses or other acts which would result to quasi-delict. And then, jointly and solidarily liable na ang schools, teachers, and administrators with the parents. Okay? When we say jointly and solidarily liable, if the parents could not pay, then the school administrators and the teachers would likewise be civilly responsible. Responsible for civil damages. That's what we mean by jointly and solidarily liable. But that has to concur with the fact that the parents are subsidiarily liable. And we have to prove first that the parents did not exercise reasonable diligence. Again, reasonable diligence means what a prudent man could have done based on the facts and circumstances which could prevent the commission of a crime or acts which would result to quasi-delict. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Attorney. Next, we have Sir Giovanni Pelino. Pelino ni sir or Pelino? Okay. Welcome to the Capital Reports. Talagsara ko makakita ni sir.
Good morning. Giovanni Pilino from Radio
Pelino.
Bandera, Talibon.
Pelino,
My question goes to Police Colonel Christopher Fernandez of the PNP. Sir, human sa nahitabo sa Tacloban, kung saan may gihimo nga mga proactive measures sa BPPO, sa mga schools, doon na ba may mga coordination sa mga school authorities aron di na mahitabo dinhi sa Bohol ang nahitabo sa Tacloban?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Even before the incident of Tacloban, we have a program of Balik Eskwela. So, in that program, it was streamlined or nakalatag na dyan kung unsa ang mga security measures nga ipatuman no before na mag-start ang school. So if we notice during the opening of the schools na makita nato atong mga kapulisan sa mga kadalanan sa tubangan sa mga eskwelahan nga nag-facilitate most practically assistance of traffic no kay mamo ginadaghan during the opening of classes. So even before no na mga gipang deploy nga mga kapulisan sa ato ang mga eskwelahan. O gani kini gipahugtan pa tungod sa maong hitabo sa Tacloban. Diha mismo ang ato ang provincial director nagmando o nimando sa ato ang mga kapulisan sa probinsya sa Bohol labi na gyud ang mga hipi or ang mga chief of police sa mga stations na coordinate with the school administrator, employees or management of the schools, whether it is public or private, para mapalapdan or mapahugtan pa ang seguridad sa eskwelahan. Nya sa pagkakaron na adto na pag kita gipatuban nga lain sa mga measures kaning pagbutang nato og mga police assistance desk sa ato ang sa mga eskwelahan no. Pero ang kani ato mga police assistance desk na lang ni sa gawas or within the perimeter area or within the vicinity outside the schools. So sa kinatibukan, adto na kitay gibutang 84 nga police assistance desk all around Bohol, no. So di man pud nang eskwelahan sa probinsya nga makaya nato nga mabutangan tanan tungod sa kataghan sa ato ang mga eskwelahan, either it is primary, secondary or tertiary level. So we are deploying numbers of personnel which is about more or less 170 personnel to man personally on the police assistance desk para to cater any security risk or to address any security measures with regards to same or possible same incident that may happen sa ato ang probinsya. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we have Sir Dondi Delfino. Mayong buntag, Sir Dondi.
Okay, good morning Ma'am Janet. Good morning sa itong mga panelista. Ari ko mag-una ni Attorney Makinano. Siguro si Attorney may katubag ani. Good morning ma'am. Good morning Attorney. So, based on your discussion, 15 years old and below, they are exempted from criminal liability. Instead, they will undergo intervention program. So, akong question is, unsay metabo during the intervention program and how long they will undergo this intervention program? Kay, as all we know, usas mga appeal sa dito sa Tacloban, he is 14 years old and he is exempted from criminal liability. And we all know that the CICL as of now nagkabata. So for the car, mga children at risk, at least makasabot sila. Unsay may tabo nila, attorney?
To be honest, sir, no, my experience with CICL, it's really only up to the proceedings in court. But whenever the CICLs are subjected to the intervention program, they are already handled by our the SWD or the provincial government, provincial social welfare development office. So I think if it's fine with you, sir, it's best addressed to the representative of the Social Welfare Development Office.
Okay. So,
Okay, Ma'am Donna.
pwede ako ipasan mo, Ma'am Donna?
Okay. In terms of diversion, no, intervention programs, so appeal na siya sa intervention po sa mga bata, not only for the children but as well as the family. No, so dili lang na siya gihandle sa Provincial Social Welfare Office, but in the event nga mahitabo na siya adto na sa mga social workers na sa mga munisipyo. So unsa may mga intervention programs? For example, katong sa aton lang example lang to siya, no. So ato jung Palawman, ang ano man tong nahitabo? Because again, every behavior has meaning, no? So atong tugkaron, atong tan-awon, asa man dapita gagikan. So maybe na siya anger. So possibly, appeal sa intervention is i-manage ang iyang anger, no? So, if ever makita nato nga dysfunctional pud ang family, siguro nagdako siya. Example na nagdako siya in a violent community, in a violent pamilya. So i-appeal po to siya as interventions. Not only the child, the family, as well as the community. Because whether we like it or not, ibalik raman po na siya, i-reintegrate raman po. So mo na yung mga steps nga himuon na to. So not only sa social welfare office lang, team man na siya, no? So, sa Barangay Council for the Protection of Children, naapoy interventions. Sa local po, sa Municipal Social Welfare Office, naapoy interventions. Kung magkinahanglan jud siya og therapy, because social workers are generalist, dili man siya maingon nga mag-counseling lang po. So, kung kaya nga naatay itap nga mga psychologists to do the therapy sessions, so i-appeal po na siya, no? So dili na siya overnight lang, no? Masing makaingon ta nga, okay na to. So dili man pod kay basin og lawom pod kaayo ang rason nganong nahitabo to, no? So kung na-identify kay nakita na to social media nga nalulong pod siya anang online game. So i-appeal po na siya sa intervention. So siguro part of the intervention is kung online siya, mo-partner po ta sa cybercrime division. So, ingon, taas na siyang maproseso. So, depende po na siya, whether or not, 6 months na ba atong interventions up to kanus aman siya. So, ingon, siya, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, next question, ano lang ko ni Police Lieutenant Colonel Fernandez. So, pagbalik eskwela, sir, nakita na to, police visibility is visible. But after Tacloban, ang police visibility must be visible siya. Kay base sa akong observation, bisan sa mga school nga tuwa dito sa Hilit is na may maabot nga mga patrol car, mga police magpakita dito. So, mo na nakaingon kung must be visible. Ang question ako, sir, is until when inyong buhaton? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, this program shall be sustained. No? So, although there are priorities, there are activities nga uban kabahin sa ato ang function sa police, but more or less kasi in the instance na mo na siya nahitabo karon, di man tanan nga eskwelahan atong mahatagan, but we are focusing on information, di ba? So atong itanaw karon kung kinsay pinakadaghan og daghan nga mga population nga eskwelahan or mga dunay mga kanabang dunay mga previous related incidents nga mangingana, siguro o gatong mahinumduman di man lang kay kanang shooting lang incident nga hitabo sa usa ka schools. Doon naman may mga pangitabo sa una nga mga di ba natay na hinumduman sa una nga doon ay mga grupo, di ba? Ani mga gang sa eskwelahan, dani mga grupo nga nagadaiya nga nag-away-away niya atong mahitabo sa eskwelahan or di sa gawas. So mo na itong gitan-aw nga iskana to ang mga eskwelahan kung kinsay nanginahanglan, masanginahanglan o angay butangan og to ang police assistance desk para ma-priority na to ba. So, but more or less, as much as possible, kaya naman sa ato ang mga kapulisan nga makasuroy, no? Dili man ingon nga kada adlaw nga makaadto sa mga eskwelahan, but more or less, siguro once a week o twice a week ang ato ang mga kapulisan dapat makaadto gyud sa mga eskwelahan sa ilahang area of responsibility. Gani, gimando sa ato ang Chief of the Philippine National Police nga dapat ang police is mutambong sa ipahigayon nga flag raising ceremony. That is only a very simple gesture of police presence na during flag raising ceremony. Ang nag-raise ng flag, ang nag-lead ng lupang hinirang is ang police or panumpa sa watawat. That is a gesture in which na magpakita ang support ng atong kapulisan sa ato ang mga schools. So again, we will sustain as much as possible that the Bohol Police Provincial Office in this program. So kaya naman ang sa amin ang sa mua lang is we have to monitor and consistently advise our personnel to sustain the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Next, we have Sir Loloy Tutas. Sir Loloy, mayong buntag kanimo. Welcome to the Capital Reports.
May buntag sa Tangnam Minaw, Ma'am Janet, may buntag. Diya sa Lamisa, Sir ug Ma'am, may buntag ninyo. Pangutanan ako akong ipaabot sa legal officer sa Department of Education, Bohol. Sir, sa imong kasinatian sa pagpangalagad sa maong departamento, existido na ba? Buot na ko ipasabot, wapay kagubot, pero naa na ang protocols. Naabay paagi sa DepEd nga kanang gitawag og comprehensive reporting. Akong itinaw, ang ginikanan kuhaan og remark sa iyang bata, tapukon sa oskilahan. Ang PTA, mautanaw sa mga bata, tapukon gihapon sa lamisa sa oskilahan. Ingon man ang mga magtutudlo, fakulty, uban pa, tapukon gihapon. Sa inyong bahin, maayo ba sir, nga hiusahon ang tanang komentaryo, parang masayran, kung kinsay medyo init o gulo nga bata, kinsay bata nga dili kaya pasiawan, kay og masuko, labaw na, o kinsa putong mahiligon o pasiaw, nga sinugdanan sa kagumot, mursil tagdumot. Naa ba na karong panahon na sir?
Okay, sir. Good morning, first of all. Existing naman na siya, sir, nga mga protocol. Labi na gyud sa class advisor or homeroom advisor level. But if we are going to talk about this data, naamangod po na siya yung mga privacy concerns. Busa, atong gi-intensify po karon ng atong mga guidance offices or services, although kuwangan pagyuta og mga registered guidance counselors, kay part man ni sa ilang trabaho nga mag-gather og mga data bahin ingana sa mga behavioral mga problems ba. Gitapok ni siya and then gi-address man ni siya sa eskwelahan. Or even kung ang eskwelahan kay wala pa man gyud tay igong registered guidance counselor sir sa DepEd, as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, for the entire DepEd Bohol, murag na aray unom gyud ka registered because it is difficult to have RGCs kay taas kayo ang ilang qualification para mahimong registered. First of all, dapat master's degree sila daan usa maka-board. Busa na atay gitawag og mga guidance designates nga gitrain po na sila sir. And then in coordination with the class advisor or homeroom advisor, kani nga mga reporting mechanisms naaman na siya sir. Gi-address na siya sa eskwelahan. Ug naagyo yung mga concerns nga medyo grabe na, ang ato ang guidance services or guidance counselors are extending counseling sessions to address these specific behavioral issues of particular school children.
National issue ba sir sa tanang tunghaan nga naagyo ng counselor?
I am speaking of DepEd Bohol, dili pa ta kompleto gyud sir og RGC matag eskwelahan. I think we have 1,343 schools under DepEd Bohol, and I know there are only about 6 siguro nga RGCs. So what we do, if there are learners' rights and protection concerns or naay mga bata nga kinahanglan gyud og counseling, what we do is we request aning atong mga RGCs nga naay gyud specific station or school naka-assign nga i-deploy nato adto asa ninyo ma'am and sir kaning eskwelahan bikay na mga issues related to the behavior of the child nga dili na kaya i-handle og guidance designator or iyahang advisor kay kinahanglan man gyud og expertise, professional expertise sa usa ka RGC.
Human sa counseling sir, unsay buhaton sa bata medyo katol.
Kinahanglan
may counseling.
Yes, sir.
Dapat di mo tuos counseling.
Og
Unsay
dili-
buhaton sa bata.
Og dili mo tuo sa counseling sir, ma-monitor man na nato no kung unsay progress, behavioral progress sa bata after mga counseling sessions niya, monitoring. So further that, mo undergo gigud sa intensive nga mga counseling sessions kay di man sad pohimo sir nga og ang bata gyud badlongon na kaayo, dili na namo pasudlon or dili na dawaton sa eskwelahan. As much as possible amo gyud na siyang pasanon hangtod mahuman gyud siya og eskwela.
Bahalag di mausap ang batasan.
Well, we are trying to correct the behavior, sir, but we cannot assure 100% correction. Kay ang pagpadako sa bata is not the sole responsibility of the school. First of all, magtubod magyud na sa ilahang balay.
Ari ko ni attorney sa PAW, attorney Palihog.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Sa legal issue, disciplinary is good. Mutuo ba ka attorney, mapasiyaw o dili, nga nay ubang mga bata, nga dili na madutlan og tambag, kay naa ako no ilang gisaligan nga di na hikusian. Naay gisaligan nga di na iputukan. Naabay disiplina ana attorney, kundi ni mo kusion. Palihog, attorney.
Yes. You know, that's a very sensitive question, actually. It's a very sensitive issue nowadays. Now, I had my talk with one of the where ato dito sa the audience are teachers and members and faculty and staff of San Jose Talibon National High School. I was their resource speaker for their GAD activity, and one of their questions, or I think it was a sentiment of majority of the teachers nga maglisod na gid sila instill og discipline nowadays because of in light of the kanang trend karon kintahay no nga where parents would readily easily resort to social media and filing of cases against school teachers and administrators and the school itself for infliction of physical harm. But if I look at it from a legal point of view, good sir, no, under RA 7610 or the Protection of the Child Welfare Act, no, corporal punishment is really prohibited. So when we say, if I interpret corporal punishment, it means excessive physical punishment against the child. But the problem nowadays is that if we look at RA 7610, favorable manggod tanan manggod nga mga provisions under this law are very favorable to the child. Nga gamay lang siguro nga physical abuse, you could easily file a child abuse case. That's what I told them. There's no stopping for the parents to actually file a case for physical, emotional, psychological abuse against the child, and that's really, really possible. Okay? But I told the teachers, you could also defend it. Ma-defend magyuni mo siya, no? Because RA 7610, it's very important that for you to be convicted of such crime, you should have used or you should have took advantage of the fact that the child is a minor, that you had to demean, debase, degrade the integrity and welfare of the child. Gigamit nimo, in other words, in Visayan, gigamit nimo ang pagka-inosente sa usa ka bata to inflict any emotional, physical harm. So if it was, I'm not saying, because we are on media, Rabano, I'm not saying that we condone physical inflicting of physical harm, because that's not also the way to instill discipline upon a child. In my own personal point of view, no. But if the teachers or school administrator did not intend to debase, degrade, demean the worth and the integrity of the child in possibly disciplining a pupil or a student, then he or she will not be liable for RA 7610. That's just the standard, okay? Kanang wala nimo lahi magud taga na to very specific example, no. Let's say you know that the child is kanang hilumon, manggiuwawon, very vulnerable. As a class advisor, for instance, you took advantage of that vulnerability, the shyness of the child, nga imo siyang pakauwawan in front of the classmates in instilling discipline. You could possibly be liable under RA 7610 because it was deliberate on the part of the school teacher, having known the facts and circumstances that your student is like this and like that. Okay? But siguro in another case, I was able to encounter a case when I was still assigned in RTC Carmen where the school teacher was eventually acquitted for having inflicted a physical harm against the student. Unya, dalang pakauwaw pa psychological harm. But the teacher in that case, although it's still with the RTC, because there can still be remedies that could be availed up to the Supreme Court by certiorari, not by appeal, because acquittal, you cannot appeal it. The decision of the then presiding judge who penned that decision said that the infliction of such physical and psychological harm was a response to was a response to the behavior of the child at the time to prevent further harm to the other students. Okay? nakita ra ang difference between the deliberate and something that is more reactive to prevent further harm. But that, I told the teachers and the members of the staff of that school where I was resource speaker, that's only, that you could raise it as a defense. Ang problema, mafaila na lagi pod. Kay dali-dali ra gyud na. But I think that's already addressed by the DOJ or the Department of Justice, no, because they raised the standard of whether or not a person can be charged in court because it used to be probable cause lang, no? Probable cause pasabot posible bang masadaan gyud nga ta or posible bang criminally liable gyud siyang tawhana. Then you could already be charged with a case before court. But now, the DOJ raised the standard from probable cause to reasonable certainty of conviction. Meaning, nitaas na ilang standard. Nga, if you look at the evidences, standing alone, could it already possibly secure a conviction? Then, dili na, if the answer is no, then the teachers would not be criminally liable or they would not be charged before the court. Did I answer your question,
Okay,
sir?
Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you, Attorney. Thank you, Sir Loloy. Next, we have Sir Bruce Sabala. Maayong buntag, Sir Bruce. Okay.
Good morning to our panelists. Bruce Sabala, DVTR and Audible. I would like to actually any of the policy of the kaning atong mga guests ang mo tubagani. My question is this: do you think that it's about time that there should be strong policies to censor or better yet ban certain ages of school children to gain access to social media? Any of our panelists may answer the question.
May I answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so one of my colleagues happened to post an opinion in social media regarding the ban of social media following the Australian model. Okay, we don't have that yet here in the Philippines, but I tried to study and research the Australian model in preparation for today's event. And based on what I have gathered from my reading last night, the Australian model actually bans social media access to minors ages 16 years and below. Yes, but the regulation and the prohibition is not dili sa tanan nga social media access, only to some social media sites which they think possibly are harmful to the minors. But ang nakanindot sa Australian nga model is that the responsibility to prohibit or to regulate is not vested upon the parents or the minors, but it's heavily the social media, the owners or the one who makes the social media, the developers of the social media are the ones being fined and penalized by the Australian government if they fail to prohibit and regulate users of social media amongst minors who are ages 16 years and below. And I think that's a very good model that we could possibly copy here sa atong lungsod, no? Maybe if this sentiment could reach our Congress and members of the Congress and Senate, I think that's a very good tool because in my own personal point of view, the recent happening in Tacloban, I think was heavily influenced by access to social media. Ako na lang ni i-share ka basig walay makapangutana later on. I happened to be able to talk to one of the members of the technical working group who was really an advocate for the passage of the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act back in 2006. Ang history ani nga law, no. Supposedly, because prior to the enactment of that law, ang age of criminal exemption from liability is ages 9 years old sa atong old nga revised penal code, no. But because of the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act, ni saka na siya to 15 years old. But the original bill that was actually proposed in the House of Representatives, and Jose de Venecio was then the Speaker of the House of Representatives at that time, was actually 12 years old. and below. But when it reached the Senate, manggod, naglisod sila o come up gud sa proper nga age of criminal responsibility. And because it was certified as urgent, murabag kanang gi-accept na lang to nga 15 years old, no? So having said that, siguro maybe, and because at that time, social media, I'm saying this because at that time, social media is not yet prevalent, diba? So maybe, I don't know if the social workers will agree though, maybe it's also about time to revisit our Juvenile Justice Welfare Act to take into account the prevalence also of social media nowadays and the exposure of minors to a lot more factors which would increase criminal delinquency.
Okay, thank you. Can I still ask
Yes.
one question
Yes,
to
of
another
course.
panelist? At ako ni address ron sa atong PNP, no? Nasuta ang magid sir nga there was a duplication no sa serial number sa kadtong firearms nga nagamit sa mga assailants. Could you somehow give us information or updates as to unsa na gibuhat sa PNP regarding that kanang problemaha o nya unsa yung mga possible ninyo nga sanctions regarding sa mga involved ka or responsible atong mga duplication sa serial number sa firearms?
Yes, sir. Thank you. That is that would be under the CSU, the Civil Security Unit in the PNP. But nonetheless, as we have known or seen in social media, na doon ay information with regards to duplication of firearms. So, if it is a juridical firearms, maybe the concerned agencies or juridical entity have liabilities with regards to the said incident if it is proven that there is a duplication of such that case. So again, with regards sa nangitabo, gani doon na naigihimo ang si issue sa atong probinsya with regards sa katong incident with kabahin atong firearms. So naay mga firearms nga gi-revisit karon gitan-aw kung doon ay posible nga duplication sa kabahin sa maong hitabo. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Bruce. Next, we have Sir Sindoy Hinging. Morning, Kap.
Thank you, Ma'am Janet. Good morning sa atong mga panelist. Kung address niya akong pangutana ngadto sa atong public attorney's office. Ma'am, kining dunay sugyot si Senator Robin Padilla nga may tungod sa juvenile justice law human nahitabo tong dito sa Tacloban. Sa imong paminaw o imong opinion, ngayon na ba nga amendahon ang maong juvenile law, justice law pagkakaron?
Okay, thank you for that question, sir. No, please note lang nga this opinion of mine is purely a personal opinion, and I do not represent the opinion of the public attorney's office. Okay, so like what I have said earlier, sir, the enactment of the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, it was way back 2006 po, no, because somehow magod there was a pressure pod because we are a signatory to the United Nations Convention of the Rights of Child and also the Riyadh Convention and the Dubai Convention, I think, if I'm not mistaken, not Dubai, but the Riyadh, where there is imposition of a higher criminal age of responsibility. But like I said earlier, at that time, since it was still in 2006, the prevalence of social media and other factors were not yet di pa kayo grabe as opposed to now. So in my own personal point of view, I think that it's high time to revisit and make possible amendments to the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act. Although it was already amended by during the time of President Pinoy, no, but there was no amendment with respect to the age of criminal responsibility. But I think it's, in my own personal point of view, given the prevalence of social media, I think it's high time to revisit so that the members of Congress and Senate could also research more and support the possible lowering. Dapat supported po siya by empirical data, no? Because I understand that there is a public outrage due to the incident in Tacloban, no? Nga gusto kita i-lower ang age of criminal responsibility, but amending national legislations, I believe, should not be because of as a result of very emotional scenarios and very kanang rare cases, because it would also be disproportionate to the good that the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act is actually seeking, because pasig nalimtan no nga murag wa kayo na to na emphasize in today's discussion nga the purpose really of the Juvenile Justice Program is to reintegrate our minors back to society. Pero kasabot mi sa outrage no nga nakapatay god, nakaingana no, but an example lang good sir kay I like giving actually examples no, because I think that it would give us more visualization as to what we're trying to say gyud. So katong ako nakastorya earlier who talked to me about the history of the enactment of Juvenile Justice Welfare Act, niingon gyud when they visited before the enactment of the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act, ang nahitabo is our minors, they are also detained alongside adult prisoners or PDLs. And you know, that person was able to talk to a 10-year-old minor, and she asked him, kanandong in Tagalog though, what do you want to become in the future? Kaya mo sa gitubag sa minor, luoy gid kayo niya siya. I want to be a mayor. But kabalo mo unsa nga mayor ihang gusto? Gusto siya mahimong mayor sa selda. Because that's his environment. That's what he is influenced man, di ba? That's how he is surrounded. But that's a 10-year-old, di ba? As a parent, that's why I told in my opening statement, we should be able to answer very difficult questions by the end of this discourse, because I don't think that lowering the age of criminal responsibility will solve criminal delinquency alone. Like I said, we should address the roots. That would mean addressing parental guidance, discipline. Magsugod magina sa balay. We know it, di ba? The teachers, schools, and administrators are only substitute parents. And that's if the parents, the teachers, school, and the teachers have custody over the students. But if they don't have custody over the students, balik yun na dito sa family gyud, di ba? Ako, sir, I have been handling CICLs for many, many years. Yun. And if you really look at the social case studies which are prepared by our social workers, maluoy gid mo sa background. And you cannot blame them, actually, for having committed such offense. Kay luoy gid kayo ang ilang family background. Maybe the public could not really understand it that much because you have not been in the field. But for us, who are actually handling them, we do not condone their acts. But again, let's not forget the purpose of the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, because we are trying to give the minors a chance at being rehabilitated, because they are likewise victims of circumstances also, okay? But of course, we're not saying that we're erasing accountability, okay? That's why I'm saying that there might be a need to revisit the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act, maybe the lowering of age of criminal responsibility in light of the prevalence of social media and the modern times na gyud. But not to erase the goal of rehabilitating the minors back to society.
Thank you, ma'am. Kining akong sunod nga pangutana akong address na sa DepEd. So, ganinang buntag, usa sa mga balita sa akong nabati, nga si Senador Win Gatchalian naghangyo sa Department of Education nga mag-create o guidance and counseling office. So, dinhi sa atong probinsya sa DepEd Bohol or City Division, doon na ba yung opisina sa guidance and counseling office?
For the DepEd Division of Bohol, sir, every Monday mo report na sa division's office ang amo ang RGC. Kay kaning atong mga registered guidance counselors namang yun ni sila specific nga eskwelahan nga naag yun sila dito nakadestino. Considering that we have very, very few RGCs relative to the number of schools in the entire province under the jurisdiction of DepEd Bohol. That is why diri lang sa division's office once a week lang sila gi-require nga mo report to also extend counseling services sa staff. After that, balik sila dito sa schools. If we have request of other schools for counseling services, amo sad na silang i-deploy, sir, ato sa laing eskwelahan. Pero sa matag eskwelahan, sir, natay gitawag og guidance designate, gitrain sad na sila unsaon pag conduct og ingana nga mga similar activities. Pero if a certain incident or a situation that really calls for the expertise of a professional guidance counselor, among i-deploy huwaman sa ni adto asa ni didto nga school kay naay nanginahanglan og counseling. And as to in relation also sa giingon ni attorney nga I want to become a mayor, sa DepEd naaman sa tay gitawag og kanang career guidance program. If you observe once a year, di ba magsuot ng mga bata og kanang uniform sa career nga ilahang gusto, because we would also like to guide, basically guide sa amo ang young learners what they want to become in the future. Galing lang, makita siguro ninyo gyapon sa social media, no? Nga naay mga career guidance activities nga naay gadaog manok kay ang iyahang career sa bungiro. I think there must be something to be done also kay basin og mura ba og deliberately ug unsay iyang gusto siyang kinabuhi, wala na tay action og ingana bitaw. We don't mean man nga dautan na siya, pero ang atong vision ba unta nga sila as young as they are, they already envision what they want to become in the future so that they will become a productive citizen of our country. So naghinay-hinay pag yung tag-establish, sir, matag schools na atay bisag wala gyoy designated nga opisina nga gihinganlan o guidance office tungod sa atong limitation sa infrastructure, but we have guidance designates in their own capacity extending help and services for the faculty, personnel, and also more importantly to the learners.
So kining guidance and counselor, sir, apel ba po ani under ba po ning atong mga magtutudlo nga medyo haras kayo sa iyang pagtudlo ngadto sa mga kabataan?
Well, speaking of that situation, sir, kana siya ka administratibo na manggod na siya, no? So basically, it will be dealt with the administrative supervision of the principal or higher officers. Pero if it is found nga ang iyahang medyo haras siya sa iyang pagtudlo, has something to relate with psychological background siguro or behavioral background, amo gyapon nang i-coordinate sa amo ang mga registered guidance counselor. That is why our RGCs are not only extending counseling help to learners but also to the employees mismo sa DepEd.
So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kapsendoy. Next, we have Sir Felix Sempron. May buntag, Sir Felix. Yes. Ikaw na, Jud. Wala ba kaning nga pila ka simana?
May buntag sa tanan. No? Unahon ako rin diis kaning social worker. No? Kining doon na by scientific findings nga kung bulihon ang tao, mupatay. Kaya kani kung buli, kasagaran ani di man mupatay, tagsaran man mupatay, gawas din na adik-adik ka, na dependensa sa imong utok, tungod sa cellphone ug adik-adik, munang bulihon ka, tandugon lang, muna ang mupatay. Pero kasagaran sa buli, di man mupatay, unsa may mong observation ana, ma'am. Doon na ba scientific findings nga natural na kung bulihon mupatay?
Okay, good morning once again, no? So, there is no kanang bitang wala na na-estudyohi jud nga og bully, og naay nagbully, mupatay ka. So, nagdepende ra gyud siguro na siya sa thinking sa usa ka tawo.
Kung
no?
thinking, daghang kayong
daghang mahuna-hunaan. Pero og miyong kang specific, sir, wala jud tay study nga nahitabo ingon ana.
So, makaingon tag basin og adik-adik to or basin og nadaot ng utok adto kay adik-adik or nadaot utok tungod sa cellphone, no? Oh, sa ato pa, kaya di ba na normal nga patay ka o bulihon na ka, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Ikaduha na kong pangutana. Attorney GC Puentes. Sir, ang akong obserbasyon sa mga estudyante ron sa DepEd no, sa gobyerno, high-tech na, imbes ballpen o notebook dadon o musod eskwelahan, armas na o bala. No? Di ba? High-tech na. Karon, unsaon man makalusot gito kung why security, kasagaran na ba sa eskwelahan sa gobyerno why security? Kaya diha pa ito security, magduha-duha na magduha sa armas o sa ubang bando, mapugnan, no? Granting na security. Oh. Sa ato pa sa gyapon na sa management bisag na why security. Kaya unsa man pag-manage nila. Unsa may imong reaction ani sir kay na kadto ra bang kana bang istorya nga first time pa kuno ning nahitabo nga gipatay nga estudyante dito sa Tacloban, di na tinuod ang Bohol number 1 adto 1980s.
Yes.
Di estudyante gipatay anak ug huwes. Unsa may imong reaction na sir? Ito na.
Well, my personal point of view about that, sir, no, nga if there is only a security or maayong pagka-manage ang security sa eskwelahan, it could have been prevented. Well, in the present context, dili gyud tanan natong eskwelahan sa DepEd, sir, nga naagyo security.
Mostly why security.
Yes, nga security.
Well, ang DepEd dako kayo kinadak ang budget, no, sa mga government agency. Why kasagaran why security ang mga eskwelahan?
Yes, sir. So mauna nga ang uban mag-hire o kanang ilang gitawag og watchman kay dili man gyud na siya license nga security guard. So as much as possible they are still trying their best nga ma-safe or ma-secured ang eskwelahan, pero makalusot nagyud siguro instances nga nagyud makalusot, ilabi na kun nga to ang security protocol sa gate palang daan dili pod ingana sir ka high-tech ba, walay full body scanners, walay mga metal detectors, but with the issuance of the DepEd Order number 6 series of 2026 or the ensuring safe and motivating learning environment, the DepEd encourages schools nga mag-employ na gyud og mga security guards or watchman or CCTV or any security equipment para monitor na to. And then ang mga principals nga sila gyud ang pangulo sa matag eskwelahan to make sure gyud nga ang ilahang premises secured, mga fences nga di para papunta ng eskwelahan na to, sir, na agyo fence kay because of some boundary disputes ang uban-an ng mga instances nga nung di pa pud sila makapalabat. So well, og atog yung tanawon, sir, no, atong obserbahon, ang DepEd as of now is still trying to kuan ba, make up with all these kanang mga ideal gyud nga mga buluhaton unta para ma-secure ang atong environment. Pero we all know nga na if we have to implement all this perfectly, this entails expenses kay if mag-procure mangud ka. So mao na nga naghinay-hinay lang gyud, sir, ang DepEd Bohol. We already have issued division memorandum cascading the regional and central office memo that to ensure a safe and motivating learning environment. Usa ni diri ang pag-inspect sa bag, sir. Inigsod pa lang sa gate. Nakita siguro ninyo sa social media nga naanay mga nanggilinya nga mga estudyante kay naanay bag inspection na hitabo para lang yun ma-secure or masusi nato o unsa may naa sa bag pod sa atong mga learners. But they are ensuring also that the standard protocols for bag inspection sa gate is also followed. Usually mga non-contact raman ang gi-prescribe yun ani sa DepEd, sir. Non-contact. That is why they have to use search sticks or makapalit ang eskwelahan katong handheld nga mga metal detectors.
Ang drugas, kasagaran gyud ang muduwaan ng drugas. Mga batanon, kasagaran mga estudyante. Example ka ng Bohol High, dagang nahitabo diya nga dahil gipariglahan na mga estudyante mag-uwan. Diya na ba nahitabo nga na drug test sa mga estudyante diya nga matawag na to bugoy-bugoy o kanang nakahimong krimen. Sa police board, Sir Colonel, doon na ba police visibility sa mga eskwelahan? makitaan bang pulis diyan napita? Ang kaso maka-react sila dayon kung doon ay mga emergencies. Palihog, una ko nagtubag sa attorney sa DepEd. Una ko nagtubag. Nanabay drug test na itabo. Para manginto po ng mga batanon nga mga adik-adik. Namang ginadya sa mga
Well, as far as I know, wala pa tayo i-conduct nga drug testing yun sa atong mga learners. Kaya I'm sure, daghan sad mo react ani because of constitutional issues.
Bisa na, nga abada kay minor, di mo drugas nga sa minor na di ang drugas. Unya di na nahilom nagtison na. Sa naman ang si Colonel, doon na ba'y police visibility sa mga dagkong mga national high school o mga eskwelahan sa gobyerno?
Yes, sir. Sa pagkakaroon, sir, or bisan pa wala pa nahitabo ang hitabo dito sa Tacloban, ato nang ipatuman ang security measures sa ato ang balik eskwela. No? Pagsugod pa lang sa ato ang school year o sa ato ang eskwela last June 8. So, nag-deploy na ito mga personal sa ato ang mga eskwelahan. Gani, nahitabo sa katong nahitabo sa Tacloban, ipahugtan pa, no? Ipahugtan pa ang ato ang presensya sa atong mga kapulisan diya sa mga dagko, no? Dagko or mga sentrong eskwelahan sa atong mga kalungsoran sa probinsya sa Bohol. Nya, dili lang kay ingon nga probinsya ang naa sa ato ang mga eskwelahanan, we also advocate na during special activities or mga activities sa school, na mga programs, activities na atong mga kapulisan. Nya, we are also providing contact numbers mo. Di migid sa tanang oras or tanang higayon na ang police diya sa eskwelahan. Ang importante doon ay communication. No? There is a communication between the schools and the police or the police station para in kaso og doon ay mga kakulian, problema or mga obserbasyon nga sarang iangay i-report sa atong kapulisan, matawagan nato dayon ang atong kapulisan. Usa pod sa aspeto nga among gilantaw is ang coordination with regards to access on CCTV camera sa ato ang mga establishmento. No? Ato na kanining gisugyot sa ato ang mga sanggon ni ang bayan sa mga kalungsuran nga mupasar og mga ordinansa kalabot sa paghatag og access sa atong kapulisan sa mga CCTVs either during or before the incidents or as a precautionary measures. No? But pero gani usa magkanay sa giingon pa nato nga usahay murag mo encroach man gud ni sa data privacy law with regards to the labi na mga private establishment nga mga CCTV. But again, in relation kung doon ay mahitabo nga mga insidente or mga krimen, we encourage our partner agencies or mga private sectors to cooperate in providing CCTV footages with regards to incidents. No? So, bisan tuod mura og ang ato ang concentration karon na sa ato ang mga eskwelahan, dili po nato ibaliwala or biyaan na lang ang ato ang mga to address sa ubang mga lugar nga doon na sa daghang convergence sa atong mga tao, no, sa mga merkado, sa ato ang mga religious places of worship. So again, ang ato mga kapulisan, although we have gamay lang ato ang puwersa, apan kiniigo na kini nga maka-provide og security sa ato ang tibok ang probinsya sa Bohol. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Sir Felix. Yes, Ma'am Gina.
My question for OPSWD. Nag-mention ka gaganina, ma'am, na every behavior has meaning. At tinuod yun na kaning incidents of school violence are often tip of the iceberg regarding mental health and domestic issues. So, akong pangutana, what are some of the psychosocial support programs nga naa ang OPSWD to help schools identify kani mga bata bitaw nga at risk sayo pa? Thank you.
Okay, good morning once again. No? So, psychological support services, no? For example, in partnership also with the PHO, we conduct debriefing sessions, no? Debriefing sessions for our learners. Kana pong preventive measures din siya, no? So, muna atong ginabuhat. We also have partners from our sa DepEd, of course, na po yung mga trained debriefers, mga mental health pod. So, together ka na, mag-conduct nga siya, ana, ma. But But in relation to this event, kay murag reactive naman putaan ni. So murag wala pag gyud po na nato kana bitong gikanunay ba? Kay before ang ato is protection. Ang atong gihimo is protection most of the time. But though appeal ang mental health anang dapita kay of course kaning mga bata are also victims. Biktima man pud sila at the same time sa giingon na ni attorney. They are also victims of circumstance, no? So mo nang mabantayan na siya daan. So mo nang mag-conduct ng mga series of sessions, psychosocial sessions. We also sometimes conduct PSA, no, kanang psychological first aid. So makatabang manggud pud ni siya for the learners as well as the teachers but at the same time. So did I answer your question, ma'am?
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Donna. So, wala naman tayong oras. Tagaan na itong higayon ang atong mga bisita for their closing statements. Karong buntaga. First, we have Police Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Fernandez, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Sa makausap pa, among dakong pasalamat sa provincial government in the province of Bohol, pinanguluhan sa atong halangdong gobernador. Sa kinitibok ang ngalan sa kapolisan sa probinsya, pinanguluhan sa among provincial director. Kami, padayon nga magserbisyo o magtamod sa among mandato nga to serve and protect. Sa giingon na, sa ato ang Chief Philippine National Police, bagong PNP para sa bagong Pilipinas, serbisyong mabilis, tapat at nararamdaman. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Next, we have Attorney Maureen Assumpta Maquinana of PAO.
So again, thank you so much for having the Public Attorney's Office in today's activity. And kuan lang siguro, ako lang last words, not last words, lain na po din, parting words. Siguro I would want us to end this session nga hopefully we are now trying to look at CICLs not in a way nga kanang we are very aggressive against them also kanang two-way na atong tanaw nila ba. We look at them as being accountable also for commission of offenses. We held them accountable, but in a way that's more humane because they are also victims of circumstances. And hopefully that will be more understood if we have more discussions such as this, nga dili kaayo time constrained, and hope that we could do more activities maybe by the other government agencies nga ma-prevent ning commission of crimes such as what happened in Tacloban. And let's work hand in hand together, the media, the members of those who are involved in the justice system, the DepEd, so that we could provide a safer country for our children.
Thank you, Attorney. And we have next Attorney Jessie Fuentes of DepEd Bohol.
Thank you very much for this invitation, and in behalf of DepEd Bohol, this representation would also like to thank our partners and stakeholders, labi na sa ato ang provincial government, ang ato ang local government unit sa lungsod, sa barangay level, atong mga Parent Teachers Association, ngaming responde, pinagi sa pag-coordinate sa mga ato ang tagsa-tagsa ka mga eskwelahan, kung unsay mga kinahanglanon para nga ma-prevent kani nga mga panghitabo. And DepEd continues to endeavor to provide a safe and motivating learning environment for our school children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney. Next, we have Ma'am Donna Belmante of OPSWD.
Okay, good morning once again. So, in terms of ani nga topic, sa atong mga children in conflict with the law, we always see to it that they are given second chances. So sa kinabuhi naman siya ikaduha, ikatulong mga chance for these children. Because we believe there is no such thing as a bad person or a bad boy, but only bad environment, bad example, and bad thinking. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you, Ma'am Donna. So there goes another episode of the Capital Reports. Daghang kay salamat sa atong Bohol Media, sa atong mga bisita karong adlaw, sa nga ni Sir Atoy Kosap, kinainyong tingog sa kababaynan. Maayong buntag, salamat sa Dios. Abante, Bohol.